Trea Turner has been one of the best hitters in baseball since he got that standing ovation a couple days ago from the entire Philly fan base. Adley Rutschman, he made some history down in Baltimore, but the Astros, they're trying to go for a sweep. And Jose Bautista, he's back in baseball, well, just for one day. We'll talk about that. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to any concerts or games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. Let's go ahead and talk about that history down in Baltimore. So we know that a couple years ago, the Orioles, they actually moved their left field wall back and they raised the wall. That is the first time a member of the Orioles has ever gone to left field as a left-handed hitter. Of course, it's Adley Rutschman. I think he's the second lefty ever to do that after James Outman of the Dodgers. He did it earlier this season. That wall is crazy. Rookie Yainer Diaz, he tagged on as well. He's hitting .275 with 15 home runs and a 120 OPS plus as a rookie catcher. Okay, the Astros did it again. Baltimore, they got their lead back on a James McCann RBI single, and Adley Rutschman, he added to the lead on another RBI, and good thing he did that because Altuve, he would have tied it. Altuve, he's hitting .305 with 21 extra base hits and 11 stolen bases in 45 games. He's now just 12 base hits away from 2,000. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame? I think right now he is on the track. But of course, the whole 2017 situation, do you hold that against him or not? Now, it's a one-run game. No, it isn't. Ryan Mountcastle, he did it again. His second of the series. He's up to 15 home runs and a 117 OPS plus. The Astros, of course, made things interesting, scoring two. One of those came off of Felix Bautista, who honestly might need a 4 or 5 day rest because while he did get his 31st save of the season, his ERA has spiked. It's doubled over the last week. I think he needs a break because he's thrown a lot of pitches over the last few months. I have no idea why Pittsburgh plays like the best team in baseball when facing the Braves, but like they kind of do. The Pirates went down a few after Orlando Arcia and Matt Olson, they blasted off with some solo home runs. That was Matt Olson's 40th home run, so he's now tied with Shohei Ohtani for the most in baseball. He's on pace for 57, which would be a Braves franchise record. It's 4-zip Braves after 3. Well, technically it was 2.5 innings because Ke'Bryan Hayes and the Pittsburgh offense still had that bottom of the third. Hayes, he played a 2 on a single, and stay tuned, he wasn't done with that. Rookie Liover Peguero, he's been really good. He ended up tying it on a single in the 6th, and after Pittsburgh took the lead on an RBI groundout, Ke'Bryan Hayes, he added to it with a 3-bagger. That's 3 consecutive games with 3 or more RBIs. He's the first in baseball to do that this year, 3 RBIs in 3 straight games. Liover, another RBI. He has 11 RBIs in his first 17 games. The Pirates, they win this game 7-5. They split the series with the Braves, and I do like this lineup a lot. Ke'Bryan Hayes, Henry Davis, Liover Peguero, even another rookie like Nick Gonzalez. I haven't even mentioned Brian Reynolds or Jack Sawinski. If Pittsburgh can figure out their pitching in 2024, they're going to be pretty good. The final game of the Jays versus the Guardians, Noah Syndergaard got into some trouble in the 2nd inning. He allowed Toronto to grab an early lead, but that was it. Thor did not allow another run the rest of his start, and then the rookies, they helped out offensively. Rookie Jose Tena, he drove in his first career RBI, and then rookie Brian Rocchio doubled in rookie Bo Naylor, and then he doubled in rookie Jose Tena later on in the 5th inning. Brian Rocchio, he plays exactly like Francisco Lindor. It's almost kind of scary. Thor, he ended up getting through 6 innings. He struck out 5, which is a new career high as a member of the Guardians, but then again, it's been like 3 or 4 starts. He's getting lit up in terms of exit velocities, but he's getting outs nonetheless. Cleveland, their bullpen tried their best to cough up the lead, but thankfully, Emmanuel Clase was 2022 version of Clase. He struck out 2. He has 31 saves, and by the way, he's the 2nd relief pitcher ever with 98 saves and a sub-2 ERA by the age of 25. The only other guy to ever do that was Craig Kimbrell back when he was with the Braves, when he had the best start to a career by a closing pitcher ever. Now, before we move on, because we just talked about the Blue Jays, we have some Blue Jays news. Jose Bautista just signed a contract with Toronto, but it's a 1-day contract because he is officially hanging up the cleats. He had a few comeback attempts, but he is officially hanging it up. From 2010 to 2015, he was an all-star every single year. He hit a whopping 227 home runs with an insane 156 OPS plus. He also had a cannon of an arm over that stretch of baseball. He also had one of the most, if not the most iconic moment ever televised in sports history with that walk-off bat flip versus the Texas Rangers. I mean, honestly, I think that we can all universally agree that that right there is the greatest bat flip in baseball history. Jose Bautista, Joey Bats, he's going to be missed. So we have some breaking news. The Blue Jays have sent Alek Manoah to the minors again. First, it was to rookie ball a few months ago. Now he's going to AAA. He has a 5 ERA since making his return back from that rookie ball developmental league. So the Blue Jays, they're just not happy with his progression, and I totally get it. So you guys know the drill. Anytime we talk about the Guardians, we have to immediately find what the Twins are doing and see if the standings change at all in the AL Central. Minnesota, they were facing off one more time against Detroit, and yet again, they could not figure out how to beat the Tigers. Rookie Reese Olson, he was dominant in this one. He struck out 8 Twins over 6 scoreless innings. Yes, he walked 3 hitters, but you can do that when you only allow 2 base hits over 6 innings. Riley Green got Reese a run. Holy alliteration. Green is now hitting .301 on the season with 10 home runs and a 130 OPS plus. Honestly, he has looked like a top 10 outfielder in the making when healthy. Zach McKinstry, he added to their lead with a 2-run double, and then Bo Brisky, he was unhittable to end this game. 2 innings, 0 hits. The Tigers beat the Twins 3-2, and they now have a 7-4 series lead over the Twins this year. The Cardinals and the Rays, this was by far and away, at least in my opinion, the biggest Cardinals win of the entire 2023 season. I'm not joking. I'm not being dramatic. Andrew Knizner, the catcher, he hit a huge home run for his starting pitcher, Matthew Liberatore. Knizner, by the way, I think he's on a 7-game hit streak. He's been absolutely unreal over the last week and a half. And check out Arenado's hustle in the 6th inning. The season's pretty much over, but he's still out there grinding and showing up for his teammates. Speaking of Arenado's teammates, starting pitcher Matthew Liberatore, he's always been highly touted, but he can never really put it together in the big leagues until this game right here. By far his best start as a big leaguer. He went 8 shutout against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's 8 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts, only 2 base hits allowed over 8. He has to be their ace in 2024. If you don't remember, they got him in the Randy Arozarena trade. I just hope that the breakout continues and he can really find that consistency. Tommy Edman, he had a solo home run as the Cardinals beat the Rays 5-2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not repented for your sins, you might want to do so soon because Jesus may or may not be coming back. And why do I say that? Patrick batting practice Corbin threw 5 shutout innings and only allowed 1 base hit yesterday. I hate putting a guy on blast, but yeah, Corbin, he has a 5.7 ERA since 2021, his best start in years. Shout out to him, I guess. But as soon as he left the game, Trey Turner, he stepped in and he stepped up for his squad. That's a 2-run missile. He has a 7-game hit streak. He has 2 home runs and 8 RBIs ever since Philadelphia gave him a standing ovation. Crazy that in his worst offensive season ever, he's still on pace for 35 doubles, 17 home runs, and 31 stolen bases. Philly, they weren't done yet. Nick Castellanos, he ripped a 2-run home run. He's now in the 20 home run club. And JT Realmuto, he sent one out as well. JT Realmuto is one of 2 catchers ever with 145 home runs and 90 stolen bases by their age 32 season. The other guy was Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez. Watch out for the Phillies. They've been playing so well over the last 65, 70 games. The Royals and the Red Sox, Boston, they went up 1-0 in the 4th on a sac fly and then made it 2-0 on an Adam Duvall double. Yeah, unfortunately, that was it for scoring for both teams. Now, Boston, they could have maybe gotten more in the 6th inning, but look at Bobby Witt Jr. turning into prime El Mago Javier Baez. El Mago was in full effect. He somehow made the tag without even looking. Boston pitching, they were just way too good, though. James Paxton, he's been a revelation in 2023. I'm so happy for him. He and 4 other relief pitchers combined for 9 shutout with 12 strikeouts. Kenley Jansen, he has 26 saves on the year. I don't know what to make of this Boston team going forward for the rest of 2023, but they're just 4 games back of a wild card spot. Clayton Kershaw was finally back from the IL, and it honestly looked like he never left. He went out there and shoved for 4 shutout innings. That curveball, changeup, fastball mix will forever be one of the deadliest combos in baseball history. I think he has a slider as well. I've watched enough Clayton Kershaw. I should remember if he has a slider or not. Now, he did let up a home run to Elieris Montero, who's been pretty good over the last few weeks. That was in the 5th inning, and Colorado starting pitcher Ty Black, he continues to defy modern day pitching. He went 6 shutout. That is 6 scoreless frames. He only struck out 2. He has 13 strikeouts in 32 innings. That is a 3.7 strikeouts per 9. That's probably the worst in Major League Baseball right now. Colorado, they sent him out for the 7th. I could have told you that was a bad idea. It's now a tie ball game. Max Muncy, he's having a very Joey Gallo-esque season. He's hitting 195 under 200 with 28 home runs. Muncy then drove in his 2nd RBI later. This one came on a walk. He's elite at taking walks. He has a 360 on base percentage since 2018, despite hitting 229. Gratterall, he came in for the 5th inning. He has a 1.62 ERA. The Dodgers, they have a 5-game lead in that division. They're going to win pretty easily, in my opinion. So we're going to do our first ever speed run on Immaculate Grid. I haven't seen today's grid, but before we do that, a quick update on the standings. The Orioles, they now have a 3-game lead in the AL East. And the Central for the American League, the Twins, they're now down to a 3.5-game lead because the Guardians, they won yesterday, and the Twins have lost 3 games in a row. The West, nothing's really changed in the AL West aside from the Mariners winning 7 games in a row. They're 5.5 games back. In the NL East, nothing changed. In the NL Central, the Brewers, they won a game. The Cubs and the Reds both lost a couple days ago, so they're both back to 2.5 games back at first place. And then the Dodgers, like I mentioned, they're 6.5 games ahead of anyone. They've won 5 in a row. They're going to win that division. Like I mentioned, the Red Sox are 4 games back of a wild card spot, but they're going to have to keep up with the red-hot Mariners, who are 1.5 4.5 games back of the Blue Jays for that final wild card spot. The Yankees are 5 games back. The Angels are 6.5 games back. But Mike Trout, he could be back in the next 2 weeks. The Phillies, the Giants, and the Marlins, they're all right now in the wild card for the National League. The Cubs and the Reds are tied at a half game back. The Diamondbacks, they've lost 8 in a row, but they're still 2.5 games back. The Padres have lost 4 in a row. They're somehow 4.5 games back. The Mets, they're 7 games back. What if they make a comeback? We're going to attempt our first ever speed run on Immaculate Grid. I haven't even seen today's grid, so I want to try and do this in under 1 minute. Let's go. The Braves and the Diamondbacks. Mark Melancon, I know for a fact, I got to do the spelling right. Mark Melancon, I know for a fact he was on both teams. The Braves and the Giants. Adam Duvall, I know that he was a rookie with the Giants, and then he had that crazy run with the Braves. The Marlins and the Diamondbacks, or no, the Braves, what am I talking about? They're both A's. Cut me some slack. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks, I don't know how. I think Foolish Baseball and his love for Sergio Alcantara. Yes, 0.9%. I cannot believe I got that. The Giants and the Cubs. Chris Bryant. I know Chris Bryant for sure played for both teams. The Cubs and the Marlins. The Cubs and the Marlins. I could have gone with Jorge Soler. VR. Jonathan VR. I know for a fact he was on both teams. Yo, this is going to be my best one ever, and I'm speed running it. The Diamondbacks and the Reds. Okay, this is actually a fairly easy one. I'm not going to lie. Luke Weaver, the Giants and the Reds. The Giants and the Reds. Oh, no. Giants and the Reds. I have no idea. The Marlins and the Reds. I know that one. Johnny Cueto. Ooh, wait. Johnny Cueto, I think, was on... Okay, who was a Red and Marlin? Red and Marlin. I don't know if... one of these guys could be Johnny Cueto. I'm going to go Johnny Cueto for the Marlins and the Reds. 22%. Who was a Giant and Red? Pete Rose. I don't think that Pete Rose was on the Giants. Giant and Red. Giant and Red. Come on, come on, come on. This could be my best one. Was Edgar Renteria on the Reds? I don't know if he was. Oh, no. This is going to ruin me. Giants and the Reds. This is going to really bother me. I cannot believe... oh, no. Bronson Arroyo or Bailey. What was his name? No. Homer Bailey. I'm going to go Homer Bailey, and I'm just going to say F it. No! Recent players for the Giants and Reds. I could have gone with Alex Wood, Kevin Gausman, Donovan Solano, Drew Stubbs. You guys remember Drew Stubbs? There's also Jason Vossler. I mean, Hunter Strickland. I mean, that was kind of a hard one, not going to lie. Then again, there were some Hall of Famers like Joe Morgan. There's also Eric Davis. I love Eric Davis. Some other players like Kevin Mitchell, but that was a tougher one. I failed, though. Today was a shorter recap because there weren't as many games, but if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button. And remember, I post MLB The Show on Fuzzy Gaming. We're on the road to 100,000 subs. I'll see you guys over there. Have a great day.